Once you're logged into your course, you can find the grader report under the administration block just by clicking on grades. Students are automatically added, so you don't have to worry about adding them. The grade report navigation is by tabs, and the first tab is the View tab, which gives you an overall look at the student grades. The options under the View tab are Outcomes, which will require a separate tutorial. The Overview lets you see all of the courses that you're teaching. And the User Report lets you see students one at a time, or you can see all of them. Over on the right hand side, you can choose. Right now I only have 4 students, so I can see each student's report, all 4 of them, or I can look at the student report one at a time. So we'll take a look at Sam's student. So with Sam's student, I can see each assignment, and I can see his percentage of grades, and I can see each individual grade. Next is categories and items. You will want to create some categories for your gradebook to make it easier to keep track of all the assignments. Here I made 3 categories. There's attendance, tests, and homework. I'm going to make another category. So I just click Add Category. And I'm going to call this category Forums. It's just going to be simple weighted mean of grades, aggregate, and I'm going to leave everything else the same. The parent category, this would be the main course. I click on Save Changes, and now here's my Forums course catalog. Now that I have categories set up, I can put the different assignments into the proper categories. So I'm going to take the forum demo and I'm going to put it into the forum category. And I'm going to put the assignment 2 and the glossary into the homework category. Now it's just easier to manage all of the assignments. The next tab is Scales. And Scales is a customization application that will require another tutorial. The next tab is Outcomes. And again, we'll have to do another tutorial over outcomes. The next tab is Letters, and this refers to letter grades. So with letter grades, what I can do is that I can change the way the letter grades are set up and assign different values to them by just editing. So I've already made some edits here. So I decided that I want an A plus to be 100 to 98. A would be 97.99 to 93, and so on. And then so now I want a B plus. And the B plus will be to A 88. Then a B will be to 83. Then a B minus will be to an 80. So you can see I can customize this any way that I want to. I can even make it just pass-fail if I wanted to. The import and export, we're not going to worry about right now. Settings. Settings probably should be left at default now until you decide that you want to customize. And preferences, same thing, probably leave these as default right now until you decide that you really need to customize. In the upper left hand corner we have choose an action, which is just another way to navigate within the grade. So you can go to, just jump to one part of the grade report. The grade report is also laid out in a hierarchy. So the top is the course, start here. Then remember the categories, here's each of our categories. And then under the categories are each of the assignments. And what's nice is that the students are locked down, so as you scroll left and right or up and down, the students will stay in the same place. You can highlight a student so that you can look down the line. Imagine at the end of a 9-week course you could have dozens of grades. You can also go down the columns. If you have 30 or 40 students, this is a nice feature to keep everything lined up. At the bottom of each column is the average grade for that assignment for your whole class. And then of course at the end is the course total grade for each individual student. A common method for figuring out grade totals is to use the average of grades or the mean of grades. But what if you want to weight certain grade categories? Well, to do that, under the course title, use the aggregation function, and you'll see that you have several options of ways to grade, and we're going to use the weighted mean of grades. Now you see that we have a whole nother column. So these are the weights, and I gave attendance 10%, tests 25%, homework 20%, forums 20%, and final test 25%. So this is going, when the grades are figured, it's going to weight them that much. So again, if you want to use weight in categories, make sure to choose weighted mean of grades under the aggregation function. To further fine-tune your gradient, let's look at the full view. This gives you a lot more options. Here we see our aggregation types again with our weighted mean of grades. Here's the weights, our maximum grades. Aggregate only non-empty grades means that we're not going to include empty grades. If we have any subcategories, we can include them. Outcomes, which we haven't talked about yet. We can drop our lowest grade, keep the highest. We can multiply by points, or the offset means extra credit. So if you can see that there are lots of options here to fine-tune your grades. For further explanation of the aggregation types, which are a key to this, click on the question mark, and you can see that there are some explanations and examples here of the aggregation types.